Hello, good evening. My name is Guadalupe Camacho, and I'm currently doing my coaching reflection blog for class ED 787. Just a little background on myself. I am a seventh grade science teacher. I've been teaching for 6 years. I have bounced back and forth from science and math. I'm currently completing my master's degree at LSUS for curriculum instruction with EdTech concentration. Some of my aspirations are just kind of bettering myself professionally and learning new knowledge as I learn and grow as a teacher and as I further finish my degree as well. Just to answer some of these questions and kind of bounce back and forth from the actual educator individualized tech plan. Um, where was my thinking about professional development prior to this coaching process? Prior, I really thought coaching or professional development at that was just more like a mandatory thing that all teachers had to go through. Instructional coaches had to, provide for us teachers. Would I say that I got something out of them? Majority of the times, no, it was nothing. Anything that was presented to us was nothing new that we as teachers haven't heard, especially being in this profession for a while. You kind of know what to expect. So to me, professional development was more so just checking boxes and doing the mandatory things that comes with the profession. Um, what were some challenges that I had to overcome throughout the coaching process? Honestly, if I'm being frank, I really feel like I really had a good coaching experience because I did choose someone that I trusted and I actually knew personally, and I kind of grew up with them professionally since we went to the same university and we kind of took the same path when it came to our careers and the same even grade levels. So we kind of understood the struggles and we understood what came with middle school levels, grade levels at that. Um, Professionally, like I said, I really did have a good experience. Personally, as well, I don't think I really had a challenge. I think I managed my time well and I was able to really communicate with my mentee and let them know what times I was available, what time worked for them. I also kind of emphasized that this wasn't a full commitment. It was more so like a 30-minute thing every time we had a coaching session. And then I also mentioned that I was doing majority of the heavy lifting, so that also was another thing that made this process more run smoothly. Just because I was doing the research, I was doing the work, so I just had to kind of present it and kind of make sure my mentee kind of understood what I was doing and with the information he gave me. Um, just to bounce to the educator individualized tech plan. Some things that I kind of emphasize in my one of the benefits that I feel like that my mentee got was that what I just said, me doing the heavy lifting and kind of finding those potential solutions to a challenge that I myself had faced before with technology, where does the differentiation happen um, when we include technology or implement technology? Um, when does it stop being just another math assignment, or when does it stop being just another science assignment on the computer? So I think me doing that research and actually sitting down and doing that benefited my coach just to get more insight of, hey, maybe I may implement this later on, or maybe I need to view this a certain way or change my way of thinking um, of how I go about this challenge. Okay, and just to keep going, um, and I just mentioned one way my mentee benefited from this. So going on to the next question, in what ways will the process be refined to yield better results for my mentee? I kind of mentioned that if this was a true coaching session where I was his coach, his ed tech coach, and really sat down and went to his classroom and kind of saw or observed what needed to be done to actually have a successful, technology implementation would be um, just researching other things other than differentiation, meaning I could have done finding other tools or resources my mentor could use. So maybe a different type of challenge I could have noticed if I was truly the coach and went into his classroom and saw another things, another fresh set of eyes that I could have, I could have conducted another research, another challenge that he could have had, and he probably didn't feel like he had. So maybe that's something different that would have happened if it was truly, the real world. Uh, I like the fact that I was able to research and actually uh, figure out what's gonna work for this grade level or what's gonna work for this subject, because not all resources are meant for every class. There's some things that work better in the elementary setting, some things work better in the secondary setting. So just having that time to do that research, and that helped me tremendously, and I feel like that having that time to do that really was kind of the highlight of this whole thing, of this whole coaching session. um so moving forward, for result as far as results go, I think that my mentee will try to implement some of these things, even if it was just a make believe thing or just a pretend thing that we were doing. I think that he did get some insight of what I was able to research. And that's something that the regular teacher doesn't have time to do, is sit there and research tools and resources and art and read these articles when we still gotta teach on top of that. And then what message do I have for others doing a one-on-one coaching session for the first time? I would definitely say that just know your mentee. I think picking a mentee that kind of meshes well with you. Um, I think me and my mentee work well because, like I mentioned earlier, I have been knowing this person for a while, and we kind of took the same career path, so we kind of had the same career aspirations. So it was just easy to mesh well, and I understood what he was saying. He understood what I was saying, so there was really no explaining. It was just like, oh, okay, I see what you're saying. I've experienced that myself. So coach someone that you hopefully you know them well enough to you can give them good feedback so they can actually use and not just check a box or do this mandatory thing. So um know your mentee. And another thing would be just use your time wisely. So whenever you're doing these coaching sessions, you want to be mindful of their time and just kind of get straight to the point and do what you ask them to do, and you do your part as well. So be mindful of their time, so it can just be a smooth coaching session. And then another thing that I also want to mention, um, one challenge that I feel like would never go away for a long time, it is whenever COVID came about. Technology is still viewed as assignments on the computer to this day. I mean, a lot of people or a lot of students just view as, like I said, assignments in the computer. And I think one of the challenges that me and my mentee were discussing is that students don't see technology as a educational tool rather than getting on the computer. That's it. So I think that's one thing that I really want to mention throughout this whole thing, because regardless of what you're doing or who you're coaching, that mindset might be still there for it's gonna be there for a very long time. So just kind of be mindful that who you are coaching to, ask them what is your your idea on technology and education before starting. They may have a positive view or a negative view. You just got to work with how they view things, and you just got to be flexible at that. Um, and I believe that's about it. Like I said, I really did have a good experience. I was able to manage my time wisely and kind of get stuff done when I needed to get stuff done. And I believe that's it. Thank you for listening, and thank you, Mr. Steele, for this experience. I think that I definitely learned a lot. Thank you and good night.